gonna make a fuel line here out of steel braided, and the first thing that I do is cut the line to the length that I want. I'd already kind of marked it out, but I'm making a better mark right there so it can be seen a little easier. I'm going to cut right there on that mark. There's a couple of different ways that you can cut. You can cut with a Dremel or other cut-off wheel with a very fine wheel. You can use a very fine tooth if you wanted a hacksaw, though that gets messy. You can use a pair of line cutters or cable cutters like this. I prefer the cable cutters. It's going to give me the easiest and cleanest cut. Hacksaw is the worst way to do it, but if that's the only thing you have available to you, that's what you use. Just make sure, again, that it's a very fine tooth. Now, first thing you want to do before you cut is just take some clear tape like this, and you want to wrap the area that you're going to cut. Just one wrap, that's it. You don't want to put a whole bunch of tape on this. So now I've got that one wrap right there, and I'm going to cut through the tape and the line like this. Now, using the cutter, a cable cutter like this, will distort the line some, but using a hacksaw tends to separate the steel braid, and that actually creates even bigger issues. So got still a couple of the braided. There we go. All right, now, like I said, this does distort the line. So I take a pair of needle nose pliers like this and just bring it back to shape by inserting the pliers and rotating them. And I don't want to damage the rubber in there, so you don't want to put a lot of force on it. That gets it reasonably round again, at least enough that I can work with it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this end on, and you can see that this end has an internal thread and barb. So what this does is it kind of screws on. It screws on with difficulty, but it does screw on, okay? And the barbs will keep it from pulling back off. So the screwing on and barbed deal is going to be what's going to hold that to the end of the line. So I take this, place it around the line, and make sure that I'm capturing all of the stainless steel. If I don't capture all of the stainless steel, if I don't get all that in there, then as I screw that in, it's going to start unraveling the steel sheath, and then the line's really no good. So just like that. And you know, you're probably going to poke your fingers and you might bleed a little bit. You know, oh well, that's life, right? So now that I've got that where it's got all of the steel inside, it's going to take some pressure. I have to push and twist at the same time, but I can start to thread that on. Now, you guys probably aren't terribly interested in watching me screw that on, so I'm going to pause right there. So as you're screwing it on, it gets tougher and tougher. So I put a wrench on the end of it and hold the fitting while I push down and twist the line. Now, some of you guys are going to be going, oh my goodness, he's using an adjustable wrench. Oh no, it's all right. I'm not terribly worried about it. The wrench is slightly loose, and I just push the jaws together like that to hold the line. And yeah, I know they make nice aluminum wrenches and inserts for the jaws of your vise and things like that. And those are great to have, but if you're only going to do a couple of lines, you may not want to spend that money. So let's take a look at this fitting. On this side, again, you could see there's the threads that screw onto the outside of the line. On this side, there's a set of threads there that this part of the fitting is going to thread into. And you can see that there's a slight taper to this. This goes inside the line. This goes outside the line. So I thread this on the outside of the line, and then I put this on like that. And what that does is it captures the line and squeezes the line between the inner diameter of this threaded portion of the line and the outer diameter of the line itself against the inside of this. All right. In order to do that, I have to make sure that the stainless line, the braided line, is all the way up and against the base of the threaded portion of that fitting. So it is, and there's some distortion there. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to take those pliers, those needle nose pliers, and again, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that to kind of push the rubber towards the outside of the line. Now, once I do that, I can take this and I can get that beveled end right there into the inside of the rubber, and then I can start to thread it down. Sometimes we find that it really doesn't want to cooperate because the line itself, the rubber, is distorted just enough that it's hard to get that bevel in there. I really don't recommend that you use any kind of lubricant here at all, because you don't really know what lubricant might potentially damage the rubber. I'm just going to keep working that until I can get that beveled end to go into the line. And when it will, you know, you should be able to thread this in at least 2 or 3 threads without tools if that beveled end is actually inside the line. If it won't thread in 2 or 3 threads by hand, then that means that most likely you're catching the rubber and you're tearing it or distorting it. So right now I do have it where I've been able to thread that together by hand, about 2 threads. So now I can go ahead and put my tools on there. And start threading it all together. Incidentally, you're usually using 5/8, 3/4, 11/16 inch wrenches when you're dealing with a -6 line like this. So I'm going to thread that together. So there it is. And thread all this together, snug it down, don't over tighten it. It's aluminum, it breaks pretty easily. And there's the complete line right there. Both ends are done. It's ready for installation. Now, if you did need to use a lubricant for some reason, and occasionally you might have to, I honestly think that the best lubricant is just a little tiny bit of liquid dish soap. That seems like it's going to damage rubber the least. So it's pretty straightforward, not much to it. And we've got a nice braided line there that will allow for some movement between parts.